Tonight on UCentral News, the search continues as a graveyard theft shakes a community. UCentral has all of the latest updates. In social media, a sunny celebration is underway. Chelsea Rios has the inside scoop on a childhood classic. Are you caught up with all Broncos sports? Phil Rodriguez has your Monday Manic Minute. And finally, a big freeze has hit Edmond. Elijah DePona will have your full weather forecast. All that and more happening right now on UCentral News.
Live from Central Oklahoma, this is UCentral News.
Good evening, I'm Shanice Hopkins.
And I'm Phil Rodriguez. Welcome to this edition of UCentral News.
As Veterans Day nears, a community searches for answers about a theft from a graveyard. Skylar Teddington has a story.
44 flag markers disappeared from veteran graves in the Flower Mound Cemetery, destroying years of hard work in just one day. While the suspected theft happened this summer, officials with the cemetery are still looking for answers as Veterans Day approaches. Stephen Bentley, a retired U.S. Army veteran, began placing the flag markers down in 2012, so this has been a heavy blow for him.
I was very hurt. I mean, not from my personal standpoint, but like I said, I put the markers on the veterans to recognize their service. Even if it was 2 years, 3 years, they fought.
He used his own personal funds to place the markers, and this loss was quite costly.
44 times 109. Whatever that comes out to be.
That is over $4,000. Despite the money lost, the hardest part for Stephen and his wife Suzette was looking at the graves and not seeing the flag markers anymore.
When someone took that, you're disrespecting the person and their service.
The Bentleys have searched scrap yards and pawn shops across Lawton with no sign of the flag markers anywhere. Now, they can only hope that they'll be returned by Veterans Day.
I mean, how low can you stoop? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Do you have no respect for the living or the dead?
So far, there are no plans to replace the markers. The Comanche County Sheriff's Department is currently investigating the alleged theft.
Police in Muldrow, Oklahoma say a key federal website used to aid missing person investigations is not being updated due to the ongoing government shutdown, delaying their effort to publicize a teen's case last month. Brett Rains reports.
We need every resource available, and it's frustrating whenever you go to public entity website and on there's a message about a government shutdown.
Muldrow Assistant Police Chief Brad Roberts says a teenage girl was reported missing in early October after she ran away from home. Roberts says it's policy to upload all of the information to the NamUs.gov website. It's the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System, and it helps investigators match long-term missing persons with unidentified remains to solve cases and bring resolution to families. But Roberts says the information about the missing girl was never approved and it was never made public.
Helps as a medium for the general public to have the information. They also provide resources to law enforcement for long-term missing or unidentified persons. We try to contact NamUs in order to receive a DNA kit from them in this case that we were inputting. And when we called there, we just received messages about the government shutdown.
The message posted online says Department of Justice websites are not being updated due to the government shutdown. This is the message we got when we called.
It is Wednesday, October 1st, 2025, and due to the lapse in Department of Justice appropriations, I am unavailable to take your call. Please leave your name and phone number. When the appropriations are provided, I will return your call as soon as possible.
It's a topic that's difficult for people to think about, that we have unidentified remains around the United States, but it's really vital that we have family reference samples for missing persons to be run against those in the database, because it does bring resolution to families. If someone is missing and they're deceased and they're unidentified, this gives us a way to give them their name back.
Coley Nick is executive director of the Morgan Nick Foundation, which has been dedicated to reuniting missing loved ones with their families ever since her daughter, 6-year-old Morgan, was abducted from an Alma ballpark in 1995. Fortunately, in this case, Muldrow police say the teen girl was found safe after being missing for nearly a month.
It's unfortunate that right now during the government shutdown, there's no federal dollars to sustain this program, NAMUS, which is under the Department of Justice. So it's a federal program, and right now you can't enter people, you can't track cases, and that's a travesty for people who need to have their names back.
Police say they did receive an immediate response from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, as well as a lot of help from local, county, and state agencies. Well, Shanice, it was really cold today.
Absolutely, and these blazers certainly aren't helping us. I can only imagine what it feels like outside. Let's toss it to Elijah to see how it's looking.
Hi there, Elijah Depona with your first look at weather. Today's forecast is looking kind of cold. Right, we're seeing 48 degrees outside. The sun is shining though. The sun, you can feel the sun rays, but you can feel that cold front, that cold wind as well. Right, we have a north wind of 7 miles per hour. We got humidity out there of 31%. Right, but it feels like 40 degrees. So what that means is that you want to get your jackets in, you want to get your snow boot. At this point, you might have to pull out the scarves because it's about to be winter season, or I should say, it's winter season coming. All right, as we look through the allergy index, we're going to be able to see that mold, weed, and trees are going to be higher than they were a long time ago, like last week. But as we keep going throughout the week, we're going to see that grass has actually reduced from last week. Right, we got to look out for the mold, which is going to be in the high. The tree is going to be in the medium, as well as the weed and the grass. That's going to be in the low. If we look towards the rain forecast, we're going to be able to see that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty much all the weekdays are not going to have any chances of rain. But once we get to the weekend, we're going to see a small chance of rain, about 30% on Saturday and on Sunday. So if you plan to go outside this weekend, do keep an umbrella in your car just in case. But that's going to be my first look at weather. Right back to y'all at the desk.
Thank you, Elijah. There could be some changes for people who use plastic at the register. Visa and MasterCard have come to terms on a deal with retailers that's set to lower merchant fees. The Wall Street Journal says the agreement would end a 2-decade-old dispute with merchants, which could result in lowering fees that stores pay while giving them more power to deny some credit cards. But it may also threaten consumer programs. For example, a store that takes one sort of Visa credit card might not have to take all Visa cards. Although the deal has not been announced, it still requires court approval before it goes into effect.
Shutdown's effects are being felt across the country, but could it be coming to an end soon? The Senate took a key step toward reopening the government Sunday night as lawmakers pushed to end the longest shutdown in U.S. history. Several Democratic centrists crossed party lines and reached a deal with Senate GOP leaders and the White House in exchange for a future vote on extending enhanced affordable care subsidies. Ivan Rodriguez has the latest on Capitol Hill negotiations and what comes next.
A Sunday night breakthrough in the Senate is putting Congress on a path to potentially end the shutdown.
Our long national nightmare is finally coming to an end.
8 Democratic centrists broke with party leaders to join Republicans in a 60-40 vote to advance a federal funding measure in exchange for a future vote on extending Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies. However, Republicans have not guaranteed to extend the health care subsidies that are at the heart of the fight, frustrating party progressives.
That is a totally meaningless gesture. You can get 100 votes here in the Senate. Won't mean anything because the House is not going to take it up.
But for the senators who chose to break, the compounding impacts of the shutdown, including unpaid federal workers, snarled travel due to air traffic controller shortages, and the loss of critical food assistance through SNAP benefits, pushed them to cut a deal.
We need to get the government open because we have millions of Americans who are suffering.
If the battle plan isn't working, you change the battle plan, you try another tactic.
What Democrats do get out of a deal to end the shutdown includes jobs restored for thousands of federal workers fired during the shutdown, protections against mass federal layoffs through the end of the fiscal year, back pay for furloughed workers, and fund SNAP benefits through the 2026 fiscal year. For the millions of Americans feeling the shutdown pain, the end may finally be near. In Atlanta, I'm Ivan Rodriguez.
Today marks an important date in military history. On November 10th, 1777, 75, John Adams drafted a resolution that created what was then known as the Continental Marines. That date is now observed as the birth date of the U.S. Marine Corps. Each state is celebrating the 250th anniversary of the Marines in their own special way this month. And the U.S. Mint has unveiled a special commemorative coin to honor the rich history of the Marines. Currently, there are more than 200,000 active duty and reserve Marines serving in the United States. And it seems like there's a chance that our morning commutes might just get a little chillier.
Colder than today, I can't even imagine. Elijah will have all the details for us after the break.
It's time to explore, to come out and play. Our city is waiting, so what do you say? Whether daytime or nighttime, the right time is now. Finding those moments to make you go wow. Amazing new places to fit every mood. Shopping and dining. Did we mention the food? There are green parks and ballparks and water parks too. Museums, attractions, and also a zoo. The modern frontier is the friendliest place. Now is the time for your dreams to be chased.
It's the Roadway Replay.
Time for the lightning round, Brian. Let's rewind your drive to work. How far did your car travel while you checked your phone? 20 feet, 100 feet, the length of a football field?
100 feet.
Oh, sorry, Brian. In just 3 seconds on the highway, your car traveled the length of a football field.
Distracted driving? It's no game.
Hi there, Elijah DePono with your full look of weather. We look outside, we're gonna see that it's 48 degrees out there. But I promise you, the sun is out there and it's shining. Just this cold front, this cold wind is coming in. It's reminding us that winter is definitely coming. All right. If we look through the winds, we're gonna see we have a north wind of 7 miles per hour. The humidity is about 31%. And when we get outside, I promise you, I've been outside, it feels like 40 degrees. All right. As we keep moving, there we go. As we keep moving through the current conditions, we're going to be able to see that where we are at is 48 degrees. If we look higher in the state, around the Panhandle, we're going to see 65. But as we keep going lower in the Panhandle, we're going to see a little bit higher than where we are at right now, but not too high, around 54, 53 degrees, with McAllister over there at 49 degrees. If we look, we're going to be able to see that we have no big severe weathers today, no tornadoes, no hails, no winds, no flooding. But the cold, trust me, to me, that's some severe weather. And we're going to have to deal with that throughout the nights as we keep going. But I'll touch upon that a little bit later. As we look through tonight, we're going to see that we're going to get down low, all right? 38 degrees low. There's going to be clear skies out there, but we're going to have a south-southeast wind around 10 to 15 miles per hour. That means if you got a puffer jacket, if you got a zip-up jacket, man, you might have to break out the scarves because it's going to get really cold out there. We got a humidity about 39%. We have no chance of rain these weekdays. If we look through tonight, though, we're going to see that we're at 38 degrees. If we move a little bit higher in the state, we're going to see Ponca City at 33, Tulsa around 34, and as we move a little bit lower, we're going to see a little bit higher temperatures with Lawton around 38 and Altus around 38. And we look through tomorrow, we're going to have a high of 70 degrees. As we look higher in the state, we're going to see 75 up there in the Panhandle. We're going to see 70 around Ponca City, and we're going to see 74, 77 around Altus and Lawton. So the whole state in general is going to stay around mid to high 70s. As we look ahead, like I stated before, we're going to have a sunny week coming up. Doesn't mean the cold is not coming with it. We're going to have chilly nights for the rest of the week, and we're going to have rain chances as we keep going throughout the week. But a fun fact for y'all is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, I should say, was opened today, 1982. Now, right back to y'all at the desk.
Elijah, we just found out that an actress has been living a secret life. Who it is, we may find out.
And Grammy nominations were just revealed. Chelsea Rios has more on your social media update after the break.
Rugged, rough, built for the road ahead. Sometimes I feel like a shell of a man.
Commercials are fake. What you're feeling isn't. Call or text 988, Oklahoma's mental health lifeline.
Emma, did you hear?
Todd's in the hospital.
Who's Todd? He got a collapsed lung from vaping. He thought it was cool.
Not cool.
Promise you won't vape, Emma. It can lead to a lifelong addiction, and we can't be friends if your lungs collapse.
Bogus.
Wacky sitcom teens aren't the best people to talk to your kid about vaping.
Hey, you got a minute?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move forward, daily living the Bronco way, being reflective of our neighborhood, community, history, and Oklahoma. This is what has made us who we are. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the third largest university in Oklahoma. This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Hello Broncos, I'm Chelsea Rios and this is your social media update. Last week we covered Sesame Street, but it is never enough Muppet news. Today marks the 56th birthday of the iconic show. The show came true with Joan Cooney's idea of wanting to create a show to help preschoolers that was both entertaining and educational. She was a former documentary producer for PBS and wanted to find a way to specifically help underprivileged 3 to 5-year-olds get ready for kindergarten. The show came to life when Cooney hired Muppet creator Jim Henson to create a cast for characters for the show. Some of the original iconic characters such as Big Bird, Cookie Monster, and Bert and Ernie are still popular today. It is estimated that 80 million Americans have watched Sesame Street since its debut in 1969. And Jennifer Lawrence just revealed a big secret which involves getting into fights on TikTok. The truth came out when Jennifer Lawrence and co-star Robert Pattinson interviewed each other to promote their new film, Die, My Love. She was addressing a question about whether she has a secret fandom. Lawrence said, quote, "I wouldn't say fans, I get into fights on TikTok." She continued with saying those fights happen in the comments section. She explained it started with disagreements about topics like Real Housewives and Kardashians. She added it got really intense one time when she weighed in on the British royal family. And a new biopic teaser trailer dropped last Friday titled Michael. Jafar Jackson, Michael's nephew, makes his future debut as the King of Pop. The highly anticipated movie is coming to theaters on April 24th, 2026. And to add on to more 80s nostalgia, Warner Brothers is bringing back Gremlins. The studio has announced releasing the still untitled Gremlins movie on November 19th, 2027. Chris Columbus, who wrote the original 1984 film, will be director of the movie and will help write the script. And Netflix has released the first look at Stranger Things Tales from '85. The animated series is based on the smash hit live action show, which wraps up this winter. The specific release date is still unannounced, but will debut sometime in 2026. YouTuber turned musician and creator of the Harlem Shake trend just dropped 3 new singles, making fans excited for his new album. Joji, best known for his songs Glimpse of Us and Slow Dancing in the Dark, just announced an upcoming album. With the announcement, he also released songs Pixelated Kisses, If It Only Gets Better, and Past Won't Leave My Bed. The last time he released an album was November 4th, 2022, called Smithereens, with the lead single Glimpse of Us. The new album is expected to release in 2026. And for more music news, Grammy nominations have come out over the weekend, making the many fans excited for the awards ceremony. The nominees for Record of the Year is Debí Tirar Más Fotos by Bad Bunny, Manchild by Sabrina Carpenter, Anxiety by Doechii, Wildflower by Billie Eilish, Abracadabra by Lady Gaga, Luther by Kendrick Lamar with SZA, The Subway by Chappell Roan, Apathy by Rose and Bruno Mars. The list repeats for Song of the Year, excluding The Subway by Chappell Roan, but includes the song Golden from K-pop Demon Hunters. And Best New Artist nominations were also released, revealing Olivia Dean, Cat's Eye, The Marias, Addison Rae, Somber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, and Lola Young as potential winners. For the full list of nominations, you can go to Grammy.com. Shanice, who do you think is going to win? Are you wanting someone to win specifically?
Yes, I'm kind of rooting for Leon Thomas. He plays Andre from Victorious, so I'm really hoping that he gets Best New Artist just because I think he deserves it. It's a long time coming. What about you?
Yeah, I love Victorious and I love Leon Thomas, but I think Cat's Eye really deserves a win. I would see them a lot after that Gap commercial.
Yes.
What about you, Phil?
I love Chappell Roan, so I hope she wins. It'd be awesome to see her take home a Grammy. Well, coming up, how did our Broncos sports teams do over the weekend?
And I'm super excited to see how your picks are going to hold up. Sports is next after the break.
The University of Central Oklahoma grows and thrives. We move to meet our students where they are and get them where they want to go. Over time, thousands of students have made the move to UCO. They come to pursue their passions and find their calling, to improve their lives, families, and communities. UCO moves and motivates students in and out of the classroom. Here, potential takes flight. Our students' curiosity ignites a spark that fuels transformation. Oklahoma's Metropolitan University, the university that hasn't stopped moving since 1890. In fact, we are gaining momentum.
This is where movement is. This is the University of Central Oklahoma.
Happy Monday, Broncos. I'm Phil Rodriguez, and here is your sports report. First up, it's all the most important UCO sports news delivered in 60 seconds or less, or your money back. It's Monday's Manic Minute. So here we go. The Broncos football team won their final home game of the season, making a splash on Senior Day against Missouri Southern 44-17. Jet Huff threw for 246 yards and an efficient 85% completion rate. And UCO's defense allowed only 23 rushing yards, the lowest amount since they played Lincoln on October 1st, 2022. Seventh-ranked Broncos volleyball team also had their home finale Friday night at Hamilton Fieldhouse against Pittsburgh State. Gorillas played UCO close, with Coach Edgar Miraku saying, quote, "Pitt gave us a lot of problems with their blocking, but we found a way to get it done." UCO's women's soccer team will head to the semifinals of the MIAA tournament after beating Central Missouri 2-1 away in Warrensburg. This comes on the heels of Friday's announcement that Rebecca George, Megan Wilson, and Kalea Carter were named first team All-MIAA. And lastly, the Broncos cross-country team finished their season Saturday with a 33rd place finish in the NCAA Division II Central Region Championships at Missouri Southern's Tom Rutledge course. Whew! Well, I had 2 picks for college football Saturday last week, and they both kind of went belly up, but I was close. First was BYU at Texas Tech. Red Raiders showed their defense is elite as they stifled Bear Bachmeier and the Cougars 29-7. Tech linebacker Jacob Rodriguez unofficially launched his Heisman campaign behind a 14-tackle performance as the Raiders held the Cougars to only 255 total yards, lowest all season. 2 teams could likely end up rematching in the Big 12 championship. Second was my big upset pick, where I thought Penn State might get the jump on Indiana's undefeated season. They got close, though. It came down to the wire with Indiana's Omar Cooper making a spectacular catch from quarterback Fernando Mendoza in the closing seconds. Got the highlight for you here. Before that, Indiana had got all the way out to a 20-7 lead and looked like they'd easily snag their first ever win at Happy Valley. But a couple of IU touchdowns and a Mendoza interception later, hard to say, and the Nittany Lions had a 24-20 lead late in the fourth. The Hoosiers went down the field, and thanks to heroics from Mendoza and Cooper, they remain undefeated. Well, a shocking story coming out of the sports world is the indictment of Cleveland Guardians pitchers Luis Ortiz and Emmanuel Clase. Investigators say the 2 pitchers were in a betting scheme that involved Major League Baseball games. The league placed both players on leave this past season while authorities investigated the betting allegations. The allegations center around a group of pitches from Clase, where he showed a stunning lack of control as he spiked balls into the grass several feet in front of home plate. Authorities arrested Ortiz on Sunday in Boston, and he will make his first court appearance on Monday. Prosecutors say Clase, who is out of the country, is not yet in custody. Well, that's it for sports, Broncos. I'll see you back over at the desk here in just a moment.
Well, we talked about chilly temperatures. Might seem like it might get a little bit better. Elijah will have your full look at weather when we come back.
Sometimes it makes everything funny. Sometimes it's nothing to laugh about. Weed. It's funny like that. And unlike alcohol, with marijuana, there's no legal limit. So even if you don't feel high, you could get a DUI. No matter how much weed you've had, don't get behind the wheel, because driving impaired is illegal. And that's no joke.
Welcome back. This one's kind of a fun one. Another fast food chain is offering up a unique collaboration for the holidays. Taco Bell is rolling out the Mountain Dew Baja Blast Pie. It's a key lime style pie that gets an infusion of the chain's fan favorite soda. Taco Bell says the unique treat fits well with Friendsgiving, where it says anything's traditional gets a creative twist. The chain says the pie is available limited time in store only and sold only as whole pies for $19.99.
I'm going to get me one of those.
Oh, are you?
I'm not going to lie. I'm going to get me one of those. I'm going to eat that whole thing.
I don't know if I can join you on the train, but let me know how that feels.
With that note, let's do our last look at weather.
Hi there, Elijah Pono with your last look at weather. Oop, a little bit too early. We look through tomorrow, we're going to see that it starts out at 39 degrees around the sunrise, around 7 a.m. As we get up there to noon, we're going to reach around 70 degrees. And if we get right back at the end of the day, around 5:27, when sunset is going to come through, we're going to end the night at around 41 degrees. If we look through the 7-day forecast, we're going to see that we're sunny throughout the entire week. Today is going to be one of the coldest days we have through the weekday. But as we get to the weekend, we're going to have 30% chance of rain. But other than that, and other than very, very cold nights, as you can see, we're going to have a Tuesday night as one of the coldest nights. We're going to be pretty golden. So I want y'all to keep your jackets on you. I want y'all to stay warm and stay safe. Back to y'all at the desk.
I was looking forward to seeing cold temperatures. Seems like it's not quite winter yet, but maybe still the perfect temperature for you to enjoy that pie, the Baja Blast pie.
Got some 70s. I got some yard work
Right.
I got to get done. It's running out of time to do it. And please we'll have good weather. And yes, I will eat my Baja Blast pie in the sunshine. That's all the time we have for today, Broncos. I'm Phil Rodriguez.
And I'm Shanice Hopkins. Thanks for tuning in.